Alrighty boys, welcome back to another step-by-step video. Now today's video I wanted to talk about a full game that we got against some triple-digit champs with me and my viewer stack that we have over on Twitch. If you guys want to join up and play with me, by the way, just hit up my Twitch. It's twitch.tv / the background guy with 2 Y's. You guys can go ahead and join me on there if you ever want to play. And yeah, usually most of the time I'm down to pick up people as long as they're ready to actually play and win games and whatnot. But getting us started here in this first round, we're gonna be playing a Monty here. The enemy team banned Grim, which means they're gonna go downstairs because you ban Grim to go downstairs, so that way there's not a good execute to attack downstairs. Basically, right here you're gonna see there's a Legion shotgun on the back stairs. We're gonna be using Monty for this purpose of killing this Legion shotgun player because it's a full counter. We're gonna go and swing aggressively. We're gonna get ourselves a free kill on this Legion shotgun player. And then now the main thing we gotta watch out for in this position is making sure no one else like walks up back stairs. So what we're gonna do now in this position is we're gonna try to walk down. We're gonna hit a Legion mine, unfortunately. So we're going to have to walk back up, pull that out. But basically our main goal in this position is to make sure nobody walks up back stairs. So we're going to go ahead and poke for, I guess, like, acknowledgement, basically. And we're going to end up seeing a clash on the back stairs here. So what we got to do here is we either got to keep this clash here so our team can execute, or we could rotate away to make the clash rotate away, which is what I opt to do instead because it'd be a lot easier to set up. Because basically the Ying would have to drop into the clash and then make a play onto clash while getting Ying. So I decided the better option would be for me to rotate bunker to make the clash rotate bunker, because the clash in this position has to follow me in this current round, basically. So I opt to go for bunker instead here. What's going to end up happening here is my Nomad is going to air jab the clash out of bunker, so he's going to have to go tarps, and this is going to actually allow me to run tarps in this position, which is actually really good for me in this position. Our other team is going to start executing for sight. They're going to Ying sight. I'm going to go ahead and swing aggressively for elbow here. Luckily I win my gunfight with this Jaeger here, so then we're going to go ahead and swing back over towards this clash to try to get like a triple swing onto him. But unfortunately they go ahead and kill my Ying in this position. My backstairs person doesn't commit enough, but luckily this mirror is going to kind of sell in this position to swing elbow for my Nomad, and we're going to go ahead and get a free kill on her. And in this position now, it's a 3v1 position. All we have to do now is surround the clash. Luckily, we don't end up selling our bodies, and we actually end up killing the clash. If you guys enjoyed this type of video, by the way, please remember to leave a like down below, as well as subscribe. I would very much appreciate that. Now this next round, I'm going to go ahead and ban the Monty. Honestly, I'm not really sure what the best way of winning at this point is. I know it's a Ying push with like a hatch drop, basically. Like you Ying hatch drop, and you make a play off of that with backstairs, basically. We banned clash in retaliation to them doing a Monty ban, by the way, because we knew they were going to do a Monty ban after that previous round that we had. So we banned clash in retaliation to that to make sure that they can't abuse that for more rounds. This is another thing that happens a lot in high champ lobbies, is like, whenever you play against high champs, there's a really high chance, like especially triple digit champs, double digits, they're going to play clash. I'm going to be honest, it's just way too good to not be playing. So highly recommend to make sure that you are playing the clash or banning the clash if you are going to be pushing against champs. Now next up, we're going to be over on attacking the basement floor here. Now we don't have Monty, so what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to have my Ash watch backstairs, because basically, long story short, to keep this really simple, the enemy team, the only play for them to win in this round, if they're not playing Legion Shotgun backstairs, and without the clash on the board, is to roam, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to look for a roam clear. I told my Ash to watch backstairs in this position, so basically my goal here is to basically prevent the enemy team from flanking. Now unfortunately this Vigil is going to light me up to 1 HP, however I was correct in my assumption that the enemy team would have to roam for this round since they're not able to do a bunker Legion Shoddy hold for backstairs, since I'm using the Monty, the Blitz, the whatever, a shield operator to hard counter. And you're going to see here, I see the Vigil, he's going to have to rotate back. He's going to end up rotating all the way over to Freezer to try to look for another flank, which is really obvious because, like I said, their only way to win is to roam. They gotta hit a flank. That's the only way for them to win in this position. So I go ahead and I just make my whole job in this position to hard counter this Vigil. That is my entire job. You're gonna see here that after I stop the Vigil for twice, he's gonna actually just ignore me at this point. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start rotating down backstairs. Now this round is a little bit scary because my team just starts selling bodies like crazy in this like 5v2 position. And you're going to see here, I'm going to actually just start pushing up here. I thought Vigil would come towards me, but he didn't end up coming towards me. So then what ended up happening is Vigil just started just tearing into my team here. So it turned into a 2v1 position. And then he goes ahead and starts running over towards Laundry here. Luckily, my Nomad in this position was very safe. So what I need to do now is I need to flush this Vigil out, basically. I'm 1 HP though, so I can't be too hyper-aggressive here. But what I want to do here is I want to basically move the Vigil around. He's already feeling hot because he already got like a bunch of kills. Yeah, I think he got a 3k on this round. So now what we do is we basically like chase him around. We just trying to like show presence, if that makes sense, to make him like flood around the bomb site. And then eventually my Nomad's just going to get a free kill on him. Now next up, we're going to be over attacking the first time for the upstairs bomb site. Now on this specific round, my play was to have my Ram take small tower side and kill this mute. Okay, so you're gonna see there's gonna mute. He's gonna actually go rat into small tower in like the prone spot. And so my idea was that, okay, I'll send my Ram over and get that whole side of the map and get this free kill. Unfortunately, what's gonna end up happening for this round is it doesn't go as you hope, and my teammate's gonna end up dying. And then in a couple, I want to say in like next like 15-30 seconds, another one of my teammates is gonna die, putting us into a 3v5. So basically for this round, what ends up happening is that the enemy team just simply, they just out-frag, honestly. They just out-frag. We had a really good setup, but they just out-frag us, and that's pretty much it, you know? And rounds like this kind of suck. There's not really much you can do about it. I think one of the things I've been telling a lot of my viewers recently is, like, I think a lot of my viewers are good enough to play in, like, high champ lobbies. I think the biggest problem we have right now is probably our ability to frag. So you can see, like, right here, we have 2 deaths, and there's one of our teammates, our Gridlock, is 1 HP. You know what I mean? And I guarantee you the way that the enemy team did that is just by being hyper aggressive in this position. But you're gonna see here, this mute is inside of kitchen here. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to shovel him out. Now, since I'm hard breacher in this position, I can't be too aggressive, because if I die to this guy too, then obviously we have no push like whatsoever at all in this position. So I need to be a little bit more patient than what you would normally expect in this type of position, because normally you would want to like get this refrag and then just rotate right away. But since I'm the hard breacher, it makes it a lot more unfortunate if like I just push up and just die, basically. So that's my idea here. I'm trying to force him to swing me, so I'm just holding him the entire round. Now hopefully now if you are in comms with the entire 5 stack, what you can do is you can have your teammates like pincer with you in this position. Honestly, I didn't really want to do that though, because like I said, there was a chance that we could just give up more bodies to him, and I feel like that wouldn't be the right way of winning this position. Now, it's a 3v3 position. It's technically winnable. This would be a lot more winnable if we can get like an extra pick. Basically, my team's huddled up on top main here. This is actually a slight mistake. We actually need like one guy going over to like white stairs or going attic window or something of that nature. Now, right here, you're going to see my Gridlock's going to rotate. He's going to go to games window. Now, honestly, this normally would be okay if I was playing Thermite. However, I'm not playing Thermite. That's the problem in this position, is that I'm not playing Thermite. Now, luckily, he is going to end up killing this Legion Shoddy that's playing on the Breach in this position, which is good. Don't get me wrong, but here's the problem now. We don't have any way of planting. The only way we can get a plant in this position is if I can go plant like attic doorway. Because basically what the enemy team is going for is they're going to go for Nitrocell. The moment I go into default, I'm just going to get Nitrocell out, and then we're going to lose the round. So the only way we win in this position is by having our guy that's trophy door run in. He has to kill attic, and then we basically have to, I wouldn't say triple collapse, but basically we have to double collapse at least onto the guy that's white stairs basically in this position. But unfortunately we didn't do that, and in the moment that was actually kind of a mistake by me. I should have just went for kills instead of looking for the plant. That was probably my big mistake for that round, is that I should have just went for kills, because maybe there's a world, because the attic guy's not going to swing me, maybe there's a world where I just go swing white stairs guy and just completely ignore the attic guy and try to make some kind of play happen like that, you know what I mean? But the problem with that round is that like it's a 2v2 position, because our game's window guy is not gonna, our game's window guy is essentially playing for a plant in that position. So that's the problem in that specific round. It's a 2v2 position. The game's window does nothing for that round unless we had like smokes or something, and then maybe I could plant in like smoke or something. Maybe that would be playable, but that's why they bent Thermite, is so that way we wouldn't have a smoke plant. Now we're gonna get into our first defending round here. We actually have pretty much like a mirror setup for what the enemy team had in this position. We're gonna go ahead and be playing Sentry though. Now Sentry I don't think is the best operator here. I actually think the best operator to play against a stack like this is actually going to be like Wamai or like Jaeger or something, you know what I mean? Like some kind of, or actually, excuse me, it's Warden actually. So replace my Sentry with Warden here, and it would probably be like a perfect setup. Now, unfortunately, the idea that I was going for here is that I think we definitely need an ACOG player. So personally, like me personally, I would rather sack the Legion Shotgun player, because as you guys can saw from our attacks, you can hard counter the Legion Shotgun player by just playing any shield operator and just ego challenging him while he's like ego challenging you, basically. So that's what was going through my head. So in my opinion here, chalking the Legion Shotgun would have been a lot better than chalking the Sentry with the ACOG, because one of the things that I like to do when I play Sentry is I like to play for like Highway or playing like close to E-Box, so like you're going to see right here, and so that way I can play for like many different positions in this round. Right here I'm going to go for like an early Nitro. This is actually a mistake. I thought maybe I could get a free kill on somebody, because a lot of times when someone gets the hatch inside a meeting, they back up towards the sandbag, so that's why I tried to Nitro for that, to see if I could potentially get myself a free kill. This is going to be a losing round, by the way, guys. That's why I'm explaining my thought process. But long story short, we have a Cade here. Cade is going to basically be helping me for backstairs in this position. Now, what is going to end up happening here is they're going to be pushing bunker here. They've rushed bunker with Knock Shoddy in this position. So Knock Shoddy is now on elbow here. So long story short, we have to kill Knock Shoddy elbow, or else we pretty much are losing sight. You're going to see here the Knock Shoddy. I guess he tried to push like Clash or something, but he ended up dying. And then right here, they're going to drop my hatch with a Capitao. So I go ahead and try to swing that guy to try to kill him, but unfortunately backstairs frags me out. I didn't actually think anybody would be on my backstairs, but in hindsight, obviously that would be like the only place they could play. Right here, I tried to call it to my teammate that Striker was pushing up on the hallway so he could place his shield down so he could contest the Striker. Unfortunately, he was way too late though, and so he ended up just dying for free in the 2v1 position. Right here, this Legion is going to be sitting on the meeting hatch. Honestly, this is the worst play he could do, because the enemy team is just going to get set up. They actually air jab his door right in this position, so there's not really a good way for him to win. They just go ahead and hold Highway here, and it's just GG's on the spot. Now, this next round's a little bit frustrating because, you know what I mean, everyone's been here before, but basically we lack our most crucial operator again, which is our Warden again for this round. And like I said, guys, like I said, I could chalk the Sentry to go Warden, but I think having an ACOG, especially when you're going against champs, it's just way too valuable, man. It is just way too valuable in my opinion. So in my humble opinion, I think the operator that you get rid of in this position is once again either the Legion Shotgun, or in this case you could actually get rid of the Bandit, because you don't really need it in my opinion for this specific round. So that's what I personally would get rid of, probably the Bandit. You could get rid of the Legion Shotgun too, and like I said, you could get rid of the Sentry if you really wanted to, but I think having the ACOG is just way too strong, especially for playing like bunks late round, or swinging for like the main wall, holding the main wall, or whatever, you know what I mean? It's just having a shotgun just way too strong, or having a shotgun ACOG is way too strong in my opinion. Basically my idea for this round was that I would Nitro for top main when because inevitably they're going to take top main, they're going to sit underneath the default camera. So my idea was that I would Nitro for underneath the default camera to get myself an easy kill, put our team in a nice like 5v4 position. Now for this specific round, the one thing I want you guys to understand with a upstairs push is that the enemy team, basically the way that they they win this round is they basically go for like a main wall, right? Main wall, while they push attic, basically, with like a Ying or like any type of flashbang operator, basically. And then they basically need to just take the hop up of attic. So like, you see where my barbed wire is right here? They need to get into this position where my barbed wire is to basically win the round. Basically, they get into that position and they have a plant on attic doorway, and there's nothing we can do about it pretty much. So what I try to do is I try to get aggressive early to try to look for a play where I kill one of them before they start yinging out attic, or before they start flashing out attic. They could technically just flash out as well. That's why it's really important to run the Warden, but unfortunately we don't have them. So in my opinion, the best way to win, I guess at this point, would be to essentially swing early, try to get yourself a pick, and then, you know what I mean, go on from the round there once they lose that attic control. Because if they lose the attic control or attic push in this position, there's not really much they can do. But you're going to see here, they're going to end up just kind of slowly taking their push, basically, and they're going to start picking off people one by one is basically their idea. Our play to counteract was basically have one guy playing an attic, one guy playing underneath the hatch inside a meeting. He's going to hold the walk up basically, but it's going to not end up working how he expected it to go. So you're going to see here they're going to get rid of the BP. It's just a very, very slow, ordinary push basically. You're going to see here they're going to pick off our zombie. I think our zombie was playing bunks, and they're going to pick off our Legion that was playing inside a meeting. I'm actually not sure how they knew he was in meeting. They might have actually been sniping me and ended up seeing him in there. But basically after he dies and then the Bolo guy dies, they just collapse on site and they surround the last guy in GG's. I don't know if it was a snipe or if it wasn't a snipe, but basically they just, like, all they have to do at that point is just take attic and just slow push it and just kill anybody surrounding attic. It's just GG's, you know what I mean? For that specific round, how they ended up doing it was by killing bunks first. They killed bunks first, then they killed attic, or excuse me, then they killed meeting, then they killed attic, then they killed our last guy by surrounding. And that's one of the things that happens a lot, especially in like champ lobbies, even probably in like a lot of pro play as well, is like when you are just up numbers, it's just like you can literally just flood and you just win, you know what I mean? You just win off of just flooding people out, and there's not really much the enemy team can do for that. Right here, we're doing the same setup as we did before, playing the Sentry. This time we have Warden. The enemy team, I believe, banned Clash on us, so that's why we don't have a Clash anymore. And right here, we're opting for a Smoke. Now, in my opinion, the Smoke is actually like really helpful in this round, because basically the idea with the Smoke is that it disrupts the enemy team. Okay, so we're doing the same thing again. We're going to be playing Highway. We're going to be playing Pillar. We have a shield. The idea with this setup, by the way, chat, is that I'm playing to help for backstairs while also being helpful for bunker, basically. And then worst case scenario, if the enemy team pushes like Freezer, they push Laundry or something of that nature, then we can play for that. Now this round, they go ahead and they do that same play again, where they go ahead and just knock Shoddy, rush Elbow. They kill my teammate there off rip, so unfortunately we lose our Warden off rip. And I'm going to go ahead and just Nitro him out to get myself a free kill. And then right here, they're looking for like some kind of backstairs execute. Drink some agua. Alright, so basically, for the enemy team to win in this position, they have to basically, their Monty has to walk down to kill our Smoke, okay? And the way they make it happen, like 100%, is they flash out to make it happen. So what I'm doing in this round is I'm in comms with my Smoke, basically, this entire game. And I'm just calling out to him, like, hey, Smoke now, you know what I mean? Just trying to get him on a timing of like when to smoke, because basically the idea is that they smoke and then you toss your smoke grenade and then that stops their push in its tracks, basically. So you can see right here, they double flash, we smoke, and then he goes ahead and prevents the push altogether, and then now they're pretty much in bad shape because they use a lot of their flashbangs. I think for this specific round, they're actually going to use like 4 flashbangs in a second here to try to get rid of our smoke player here. You're going to see here in a second, this is going to be like their final push, basically. They're just going to go ahead and flashbang out like crazy for our Highway and for Pillar here. And you're going to see here the Monty's going to go ahead and get down. We do smoke down, so nobody's going to follow up with the Monty on the back stairs here. So what I decided to do here is I decided to rotate back. Now, unfortunately, my mirror decides to reinforce Elbow. I don't know what was up with that, but at least it opened up an opportunity to get myself a free kill on this Monty. And the Monty also had Diffuser in this position here, so now we have 3v1 position for Highway for Diffuser in this position. So all we got to do now is just swing off of audio for when the enemy player goes up into the hallway to try to grab Diffuser. And you're going to see here he pushes up, and then our friend Ray's going to go ahead and kill him here to secure the round, which is fantastic. Now, I guess you could say that my Mira reinforcing Elbow is like, you know what I mean? It's a play where he can essentially, how do I explain it? Like, bait the Monty into an Eagle Child, but there is a world where the Monty shits on me and then also gets a free kill on my Mira. So that's the thing I was worried about on that specific round. That's why I don't think it's the right play, because we're still in a 3v2 position. He could just have his gun up and then we'd be in good shape. But instead he's trusting his life to me in that position to basically get the kill on Monty. And if I don't get that kill, then he dies 100%. I die. You know what I mean? And then we're just losing. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's just a very forceful play. That's why I didn't really love that. Now this same round, we're trying to do the same thing again. We're trying to push Small Tower side again. And we're trying to get rid of this mute that's playing over by Small Tower. He actually ends up getting lit up by me because we cut him off by the white doorway basically. He runs into dining kitchen. He's actually inside a kitchen here in this position. He's going to end up rotating downstairs, okay? Now, there's only one play for a smoke. I believe that, or no, it's actually mute, I think. Is it a mute or smoke? There's only one play for a mute or smoke to do once they rotate off-site that hard. It's either flank main or flank freezer. That's the only play that they have really left for them at that point if we're not opening up attic, basically. So you're going to see here, we're going to go ahead and start getting open the main wall in this position. The whole idea here is that my ram just prevents that guy from hitting, like either returning back to site. So he's always going to be permanently locked out of sight. Right here, though, he's going to end up killing one of our teammates on the freezer staircase here. I believe our Ash gets a little bit too hyper-aggressive here, and then he's going to end up getting picked off for an easy pick by the mute over by freezer stairs here in a second. You can see right here, boom, freezer stairs, so we know mute's freezer stairs. So now all of my ram has to do now is just rotate up. He has to just prevent the, I guess, run back, basically. This round, we're going to go ahead and open up attic with Ace here. The idea, like I said, is that we're trying to get control of attic so we can plant on the attic doorway with a cover cross, and hopefully this round it'll be a little bit better. And you're going to see right here my teammate walks into attic. Now right here I would walk up into default plant. You're going to see my striker ends up walking up into default here. I'm just going to go ahead and chill here because basically I don't want to go for plant yet until my ram walks up white stairs for a cover cross, because there's two guys in sight. One guy's playing in kids, the other guy's playing bunks. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to rotate into attic here. I'm going to go into default plant. My team on my ram is on white stairs, so he has cover cross now for attic door, or excuse me, for kids door and for my white basically in this position. So we go ahead and hit a plant, and then the last guy in this position is either going to flank up white stairs, which is what he should have did to try to contest the ram, but he didn't end up doing that. He tried to flank main here. We have gridlock though, so it's a hard counter for his flank in this specific round, so we go ahead and secure this round right there. But how my ram played it was actually so perfect, because basically he stops any like hope for an enemy team. Like their idea was to basically swing aggressively from like white or kid's doorway, and my gridlock was holding my attic rotate, so everything's covered in that position for that plant. And basically the only obstacle that Ram would have to deal with in that position was the mute potentially flanking for white stairs. Luckily he didn't flank for it though, so we get ourselves a free round right there to secure the round. I think he actually tried to nitro me from below, but he missed the spot, so we were able to get the round like that. This is the final round here. This is going to be us playing Sentry. Once again, like I said, they didn't ban Warden, which was actually a mistake for them for this game. If they banned Warden, it actually would have opened up a lot more, like, I guess, executes for them. But since they didn't end up doing that, now we basically just play for the same thing every round, where we have our Warden playing elbow, we have our Mirror for laundry and for freezer, we have our Sentry for highway pillar, we have our smoke for tarps, and then we could have a Legion shotgun player playing backstairs. I actually don't know why we don't have a Legion shotgun player here, but it's all good, honestly. Fenrir is also good in this position because you put Fenrir on the backstairs walk down basically, which is going to burn a little bit of time whenever the Monty tries to walk down and show presence basically. So you're going to see right here there's a Fenrir trap on backstairs. Every time Monty hits this, and if he's not like committing basically, he's just going to walk back basically. So every time that happens, that's what he's going to end up doing. Now right here they try to use some smokes. I think the idea was to try to have the Monty walk up like early, I guess, to try to kill Smoke basically, like to pistol him early in the round. I think that was his idea by tossing a Smoke so early into the round. But what I need to do to basically prevent that is I just need to show presence basically. I just show presence that I'm on pillar. Like, hey, if you swing my Smoke here, I'm going to swing you. So, you know what I mean? That's like my whole job in this position right now, is I need to basically make the Monty or make whoever's on backstairs afraid of walking down, because I'm also here available to help my teammate basically is the idea. We end up getting ourselves a pick onto Flores, which is fantastic here, and then there's going to be one guy on my backstairs pixel angle here. Like I said, guys, the only way for the enemy team to actually win in this round is they essentially need to walk down and kill my tarps basically. They need to make a play on tarps, or they need to make a play for like elbow basically. You're going to see here they start flashing, my teammate smokes out. So like I said, we're in this position, we're trading utility basically. So they flashbang, we toss a smoke canister at backstairs, basically. We get audio of a flashbang, we toss a flashbang at backstairs. You can see right here, they end up opting to rotate their push to elbow, so I go ahead and try to get myself aggressive here, and I go ahead and swing elbow here. I'm going to go ahead and get 1 kill for elbow here, because this guy tries to pre-fire me, but he's not able to hit his shots, and then the Monty's going to unshield. I'm going to go ahead and shoot his feet out, and then the last guy in this position is just baiting elbow. Not really sure what his plan is. He probably should be walking in with his team at this point, but we're going to go ahead and now reinforce elbow. This is the play. The reason why I do this in this position is because we have bomb on elbow in this position, and that's basically going to essentially force the Nomad to take a shotgun gunfight with our smoke that's playing on bunker doorway. So in my eyes, I think that's a free kill for our shotgun player, but he unfortunately is going to lose the gunfight, but it's okay. The bomb is way too deep in this position. All we got to do is burn a little bit of time and then just rotate away to make the enemy player plant. My Fenrir is going to go ahead and get aggressive here. He's going to go ahead and get the kill on the last guy, which I think is fine because it's essentially a 1v1v1 basically, so even if he dies, then I just play post with Sentry versus Nomad and the plant basically, and then it's just all GG's from there. But anyway guys, hope you guys enjoyed this step-by-step full game. Hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure to like and subscribe.